Right, Shalom. First, I'd like to give all praises unto Yahweh Shami Hawashai and double honors unto the elders, the apostles, and prophets of GMS, and honors to you brothers out there on the highways and the byways teaching this word in all sincerity. And shalom to, you brothers and sisters out there as we know that's doing your best to walk that straight line. Now, this video is basically we're just gonna get into this whole situation that's brewing with the World War III. And basically what we're waiting for right now is the Black Swan event. Okay, all these things that you see happening in the earth are connected. You see, the average person can't connect the dots. Okay, they're in a state of confusion. Okay, planes going missing, birds falling out the sky, bailouts and bail-ins and defaults, terrorist attacks, coups, deadly diseases being released. All these things are happening, right? And it's just a warm-up to the total collapse of the earth, man, and the ushering in of a time of great death, time of famines and the sword. Okay, World War III, martial law. Okay, and most of these events are orchestrated by the elites. But again, the average person, they might see two different things happening and they don't connect the dots because they believe that they're happening at random, that these things are chaotic, not knowing that those things are all related. Alright, and are heading towards a goal, a point. The elites, they have an economic collapse which they've planned, which is the Lord making them do that. They are going to collapse the world economy so they can bring in a one world currency. They are going to descend the world into a martial law state and World War III so they can bring in their new world order. And they're bringing all these chaotic, spreading all this chaos around the world and confusion. Like, you got people believing that ISIS want to set up some kind of fucking Islamic caliphate when ISIS is nothing but a proxy army of the CIA, of US against Russia, because they don't understand that the big picture is all leading to that war between the USA and Russia. Okay, and they don't seem to understand that that war has already begun, and a lot of the chaos they're seeing in terms of the economy is that war being played out. All right, and all we're waiting for is that Black Swan event. And I'm going to read to you the definition of a Black Swan event. A Black Swan event is an event in human history that was unprecedented. Because what's going to happen, and unexpected at the point in time it occurred. Because the majority of the people on the earth, it is unprecedented or unexpected for a complete and utter collapse in the world economy and a total devaluation of all the world currencies. Complete and utter destruction of the whole economic framework. That's what Esau's gonna do. The euro's gonna drop. This gonna become worthless. The pound is gonna become worthless. The dollar's gonna become worthless, and that's gonna lead you into your World War III. Okay, now that collapse can be triggered by many things. Could be by a cyber attack, a large scale terrorist attack. They've got different triggers that they can bring to really swing this thing into full gear. But that Black Swan event is coming, and they're building up to it. And you can see that Black Swan event is coming if your eyes are open. It says a Black Swan event is an event in human history that was unprecedented and unexpected at the point in time it occurred. However, after evaluating the surrounding context, the main experts, in some cases even laymen, can usually conclude it was bound to happen. What is bound to happen? World War III. If your eyes are open, you don't need to have hindsight. We know through the scriptures, through the prophecies, that World War III is gonna happen. And we're at the time when you can see how it's being played out, how Russia and America are going toe to toe through proxy wars, through economic warfare. And it's going to lead to a hot war because what's going to happen is right now America is losing their advantage over Russia. Now there's going to come a point where either one or two things is going to happen. America is going to say, look, we can't lose any more advantage over Russia, or we're going to lose the war. Or Russia's going to say, basically, we got enough advantage over America now to start this war. One or two things is going to happen. But the war is inevitable, man. You see them jockeying for allies worldwide. Now Egypt are looking like they're flipping to Russia. Saudi Arabia could be flipping to Russia. How many allies is America going to lose before they decide, look, it's time to push this war? Otherwise, eventually, we're going to collapse and Russia going to make it easy work. That Black Swan event is coming, man. Alright? And the majority of you people out there are going to be caught out there. You are going to be caught out there when this thing goes down. The majority of you people are in a straight slumber. And I can prove it. Okay? Now, okay, we can do a contrast. Now, when you go back into the 1950s, 1960s, man, the average person out there was deadly scared of a nuclear attack, of nuclear war. I'm going to read this real quick. It says, The Rise of Nuclear Fear, How We Learn to Fear the Radiation by David Ropake, June 15, 2012. Now, this is what he said. He says, I remember going to bed one night when I was 11, seriously afraid I would not be alive in the morning. It was October 1962 and the frightening Cold War between the US and Soviet Union, constantly in the news, but mostly abstract to me as a kid, had become terrifyingly real. I had watched a stern President Kennedy on TV reading that the Soviet missiles were being installed in Cuba and ordering a blockade of Soviet ship. There were pictures of the missile sites and video of confrontations at sea. The world really was on the brink of war. I was viscerally afraid, and I wasn't alone, because in that time there was a great fear of World War III. But here it is. Today, I'm going to show you the contrast. Because later on, I'm going to post a video. They even had, during the 50s and 60s, in schools, they had the children doing drills in case of a nuclear attack. Now, why are they not doing that today? Because these people in the West especially are at peace. They don't believe that war, serious war, is going to be in their doorsteps. No, the war is going to be somewhere in the Middle East or somewhere in Africa. They don't believe that war is going to touch where they live. They believe they're in peace. All right? Let's make a contrast to today. All right? Now, this article says here, right, how World War III became possible. A nuclear conflict with Russia is likelier than you think, by Max Fisher on June 29, 2015. It says it was in August 2014 that the real danger began, and that we heard the first warnings of war. That month, unmarked Russian troops covertly invaded eastern Ukraine, where the separatist conflict had grown out of its control. The Russian Air Force began harassing the neighboring Baltic states in Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania, which are members of NATO, which they can basically call in. If they're attacked openly, they can call in NATO, man, and the whole of NATO has to back the war. That's how this war is going to begin. This war is going to be everyone's going to be dragged into World War III as soon as a NATO country is attacked or Russia is attacked, and all these defense pacts that these nations have, they're going to come into play. Because the US pledged that it would uphold its commitment to defend those countries as if they were American soil, and later staged military exercise a few hundred yards from Russian border. So all this thing with Ukraine actually put the whole world on high alert for World War III, but nobody knows. The average person out there is not concerned with World War III. The news are not pushing it like how they did back in the 1950s and 1960s, man. There are no drills in schools for Russian attacks with nuclear weapons. Yet what do you see? You constantly see that Russia is menacing NATO. You constantly see that these nations are preparing, using drills and exercises to fight each other and putting their nuclear missiles in position. But the average person, guess what? They have no idea. Even though we're in a worse state than we've ever been. This is the book of 1 Thessalonians 5:3. For it says, For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. And that's mainly talking about these people here in the West, in the United States, in Britain, in France. They think they're in a state of peace and safety. They don't really believe that they're gonna be touched. But what they don't understand is that there's gonna be a black swan event, man. There's gonna be an event that's gonna basically spin the whole world down that shit, that collapse all the economies and usher in that World War III. All right, and it's gonna come down just like that. And we're at the point of it. We're on the precipice of World War III, and nobody knows. They're going around celebrating, and you know, because guess what? Because the so-called white man's media hasn't told them to be afraid. They're at peace. They actually think they're in peace and safety, but that's fulfilling the scripture. Revelations 11:14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. But these people don't know that. They really think that they're at peace. They really think that. Okay, look at this. You got Russian warships to hold missile exercises in Pacific Ocean. Okay, this stuff is happening all the time. And when you're having exercises in those regions, you're also putting troops there because they have to be there to have the exercise. Look at this. Russia ramps up Black Sea fleet with modernized war aircraft. You understand? Check this out. Mail Online, new threat from Russia as Putin revives Cold War program of midget Piranha submarines that are virtually undetectable. President Vladimir Putin is keen to invest in new midget submarines. The Piranha-class mini-submarines were developed during the Cold War, because we're back in the Cold War and it's hotter than ever. Let me say it like that. It's the hot war. Russian forces have been patrolling far more aggressively in recent years. So why are people not concerned? Because they're in the state of peace and safety. They don't believe, these people in London don't ever believe that Russian bombers will ever drop a bomb on London. The blitz is too far in their mind. The Swedish Navy believes it's tracked a mini sub in the waters in October. Okay, they really don't believe. They're really unaware of the danger that they're in, how imminent their destruction is. But that's how the Lord wanted it to be, because the scripture tells you when they say peace and safety, then sudden destruction, man. But we ain't gonna be caught out there, because we ain't in the night, man. We're the children of the day. Okay, and we see these things coming. We got the foresight, because we basically we have faith in the scriptures, and we can see the scriptures playing out, man. Whereas these people don't know. They don't know that it's inevitable according to the scriptures. They don't know a damn thing, basically. All right, they really don't know a damn thing, man. And their eyes are shut. So with that, I'm going to say shalom and enjoy the footage.
There was a turtle by the name of Bert, and Bert the turtle was very alert. When danger threatened him, he never got hurt. He knew just what to do. He ducked and cover, duck and cover.
He did what we all must learn to do. You
and you
and you
and you, duck and cover.
Be sure and remember what Bert the Turtle just did, friends, because every one of us must remember to do the same thing. That's what this film is all about. Duck and cover. This is an official civil defense film produced in cooperation with the Federal Civil Defense Administration and in consultation with the Safety Commission of the National Education Association. Produced by Archer Productions, Incorporated. Hey, Bert, come on out and meet all these nice people, please. Oh, all right. We really can't blame you. You see, Bert is a very, very careful fellow. When there's danger, this is the way he keeps from being hurt. Sometimes it even saves his life. That's why these children are practicing to duck and cover just as you do in your school. We all know the atomic bomb is very dangerous. Since it may be used against us, we must get ready for it, just as we are ready for many other dangers that are around us all the time. First, you'll have to know what happens when an atomic bomb explodes. You will know when it comes. We hope it never comes, but we must get ready. It looks something like this. There is a bright flash, brighter than the sun, brighter than anything you've ever seen. If you were not ready and did not know what to do, it could hurt you in different ways. It could knock you down hard or throw you against a tree or a wall. It is such a big explosion, it can smash in buildings and knock signboards over and break windows all over town. But if you duck and cover like Bert, you will be much safer. You know how bad sunburn can feel. The atomic bomb flash could burn you worse than a terrible sunburn, especially where you're not covered. Now, you and I don't have shells to crawl into like Bert the Turtle, so we have to cover up in our own way. First, you duck, and then you cover. And very tightly, you cover the back of your neck and your face. Duck and cover underneath a table or desk or anything else close by. In Betty's school, they are talking about the atomic bomb, too. Betty is asking her teacher, how can we tell when the atomic bomb may explode? And her teacher is explaining that there are two kinds of attack, with warning and without any warning. We think that most of the time we will be warned before the bomb explodes, so there will be time for us to get into our homes, schools, or some other safe place. Our civil defense workers and our men in uniform will do everything they can to warn us before enemy planes can bring a bomb near us. You may be in your schoolyard playing when the signal comes. That signal means to stop whatever you are doing and get to the nearest safe place fast. Always remember, the flash of an atomic bomb can come at any time, no matter where you may be. Here are some older boys showing what to do if the flash comes when you are not in the classroom. This is what to do if you should be in a corridor. You duck and cover tight against the wall this way. Remember to keep your face and the back of your neck covered tightly. Try to fall away from windows or doors with glass in them. Then, if the glass breaks and flies through the air, it won't cut you. You might be eating your lunch when the flash comes. Duck and cover under the table. Then, if the explosion makes anything in the room fall down, it can't fall on you. We must know how to duck and cover in the school bus or in any other bus or streetcar. Duck and cover. Don't wait. Duck away from the windows fast. The glass may break and fly through the air and cut you. If you do not know just what to do, ask your teacher when this film is over. Discuss what you could do in different places if a bomb explodes.
Remember what to do, friends. Now tell me right out loud. What are you supposed to do when you see the flash?
Duck and cover. Duck and cover.